What kind of business McDonald's has?
Passive income.
Passive income.
What business is McDonald's in?
McDonald's is the same for the network marketing.
McDonald's.
Yes, because put one, one neck and doing different business and the same business for all the restaurants.
Yeah, that is called franchising. If you go to a McDonald's, what do you buy?
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers. Many people think that McDonald's is in the business of hamburgers. Okay? And the McDonald's owner, Roy, saw some college students and he asked them the same question. He said, what kind of business am I in? And first they didn't answer the question. They thought he was kidding, right? He was making fun. Then he asked again, what kind of business am I in? And one student said, who on earth doesn't know that you are in business of hamburgers? And he smiled. He said, I knew that you would answer that. In the business of property. It is selling hamburgers, but the main business is property. Another thing that he mentioned in the book is that people mostly work for money. And he gives example. He says that when he and his friend went to work for his rich dad, he didn't want to pay them money because he wanted to teach them a lesson. Poor people and the middle class work for money. And he taught them a lesson that do not work for money. When you go out for a job, when you are working, try to learn the system, try to learn the business. What most people do is they clock in, they kill their time, they clock out, and that's it. Most of people do not learn. But he said when you go to work, then learn the work. Even if you don't get paid more, it's not important. The skills that you will learn from your job, those skills will help you for the rest of your life. Those skills are important, not the money. But you have to keep learning and keep growing.
Teacher, I have one question because
Yes.
and for me it's not too young, but not too old, but I say, why don't teach me this in the school? Because nobody teach in the school when you go to the college or the high school or for the how to make money. Only teach for going to employ and pay taxes for the government, and that's it, but not teach the people how to open the mind to do money.
Exactly.
And when and I surprised for me now. I think all the students coming, but I'm surprised because the people don't want it to learn how to make the money. I think all the line had all the life for this. No. And then you need to do something for the future, because always is not younger. You go and grow out, and one day you need some support. How for a strong for war or for doing something. That's right. You need to doing something, giving money, and you don't work. But nobody like it learn like that.
Exactly. That's what he mentions. That's what he always says. If you listen to him, this is what he's always talking about. He says schools that are not teaching this. Colleges are not teaching this. He said you can be a doctor, you understand the whole body, you know how to operate somebody, you know how to do surgery, but you don't know how to manage money. You don't know how to make money. This is true. Let me tell you, my friend, he's learning business. Okay, when I talked to him, I said, okay, once your degree is done, what are you planning to do? He said, I will look for a job. I said, what is the point of doing business if you are going to do a job? So see, this is a mindset, as you have said. This is a mind. We have to change this mindset. I'm not saying that you start business tomorrow, but the mindset has to be changed because mindset is everything. Okay, this is very important. Business may not be for everybody, but the focus that we have on jobs, if we have focus on business, we would be in better shape. When you are doing a job, you are feeding yourself or your family. When you are doing business, you are feeding others' family. The school system is creating employees
That's it.
and not business people. This is unfortunate reality. And that's why we need this education, because if we don't know, how would we teach our kids? We like to complain about our relatives, about our cousins, about our siblings, about the government, about the policies, about the taxes, but we don't want to learn. But if we did not learn before, I can understand it. But in this age of technology, if we are still ignorant, then it's over for. Also about partnership, I wanted to say that learn to do partnerships as well, because partnership has advantages. If you need $50,000, it's difficult for you to save $50,000, especially if you are living in New York and if you don't have a very good job. But if there are people who are like-minded and they get together, they can form partnerships. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people don't like partnerships. I don't know why, because maybe they don't have the mindset again to manage the partnership. I think partnership is something wrong. Well, it depends how you look at it, but there are advantages of partnership. You can pool money and you can invest the money. Okay. And the things that you can do with partnership in 1 year, maybe you have to wait for 5 years if you want to do it yourself. For example, if you invest $10,000 and you have five partners, you have $50,000 right there. But if you have only 10,000, you have to wait for 5 years to have $50,000.
Teacher, I don't know how to say in English, but maybe you understand for the Spanish, apalancamiento. Example, for the Spanish people don't know like that, but the Chinese people, and I learned for them because take five guys, buy one house, and the five pay the house, take money, save the money, and about 10 years, the five guys had the house, and and pay. But this is say, take the money, example for you, for Ilan, for Sarah, and buy the house for me, and buy the house. In 4 years, everybody have one house. This is in Spanish says apalancamiento.
That is
because
perfect.
it's not use your money, but not all your money.
That is perfect.
This is help
right,
or no help?
right. This is perfect. That's what I'm saying. This is called partnership. This is called investment.
Oh,
So,
Reisman? Oh.
right. You don't have $100,000 on your own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are 10 people together, all you have to contribute is $10,000. So it's easier to save $10,000 or $100,000. If you can work together, then this is very beneficial. This is what I'm saying. Why not? You should do that with your, maybe with your classmates or with your cousin, with your friends. These kinds of risks you should take in life if you want to grow, if you want to do something. If you want to be very secure, then one person said once that security is in jail. You should go to jail if you want safety or security. If you want to live your life, then you have to take risks. Once you are 30, 40, then you are scared to make, you wouldn't make mistakes, right? Because then you will be very careful, because you would have kids, you would have family, so you will be very careful. There are four types of incomes. One is E quadrant. Each box is called a quadrant. One is S. This is B and this is I. Try to move from this quadrant to this quadrant as soon as you can. And he said that is your success. E means an employee. Anybody who is going to a job, getting a paycheck is E. Pays taxes and gets money after paying taxes. Employee generally pays 40% of taxes. Self-employed is like people who drive taxis, who drive Uber, are freelancers. Even worse, because they have to pay double taxes. Businessman pays about 20% taxes. Lo and behold, he says investors pay 0% taxes. If you are in this column, no good. He said you should try to move on to this column. How do you do that? If you don't have enough money, you can always start small, because many people think that we cannot do business because we don't have enough money. Of course, you need money, but not as much as you think you do. Every business that you know today, including big businesses like Google, Microsoft, Facebook, YouTube, they started off small. We should all try to buy those assets that put value in our pocket. And we should try to grow those assets by reinvesting that money. If we have more money, we can pump in, but even if we don't have enough money, we can use that money, reinvest that money, and try to build assets so that we can get out of the rat race. And we should also teach our kids how to stay out of the rat race. Okay? Any questions? That we are talking now in this session, how many times do we discuss that in families? How many times do we discuss that on our dinner table, our lunch table, our weekends, our vacations? We don't discuss these things. There was industry. You have to understand the concept. You have to know the background. When industry started, it employees. They needed labor. So the education system is creating laborers. You understand? This is the mindset we have to come out of. At most, they do is self-employed, TLC, Uber, or Lyft, or Yellow, or they are freelancers. So that's why we have to change this mindset. Once the mindset changes, then we can expect a change. I hope this was helpful to you. And if you have any questions, you know how to reach out to me. I thank you once again for joining this.